everybody. Welcome to the Good Witch Podcast. We are here to talk about the latest episode of the Good Witch television show on Hallmark Channel, or the Hallmarkies Podcast. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner, and Amy's here.
Hey, guys.
And Georgia is here.
Hi.
Yes. So I hope you guys are doing well. And I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Would you agree, Amy?
Yeah, completely. I think it was really fun. I think there was, like, all of the stories made me so happy.
Yeah.
I loved all the little storylines, and it was just really, really great.
Yeah. And Georgia?
Fully agree. This show's just so good. The writing's great. The acting's great. It was great. I won't go into detail now, but I loved it.
But I have to say, this season is always already an improvement for me from last season.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I know some people thought we were pretty tough in our season's preview of last season. But, you know, we always keep it real here. We do. And so far, I think that this has been much better than last season.
But last season was really good up until like the last 2 episodes or whatever. And then it kind of like, so I don't know. I'm not getting my hopes up still, but I loved last season until it was time to wrap everything up. And then it was kind of like, oh, I'm not really that satisfied now. But I love this one so far, so we'll see.
But even with, I don't know if I agree, because even with, particularly with Martha's plot line, like even in the early parts of the season, they would keep bringing up things and then closing it, bringing it up and then closing it. And there were so many things that looked like, oh, this is going to be great, and then weren't kind of ended well. But I feel like that was even true in the early part of the season. I mean, I don't hate The Good Witch, even on a not as good season, but I just think this season, even now, is much better than last season.
They're focusing a lot more on overarching storylines, which is what I appreciate, because that makes me want to come back every week.
Yeah.
Like, there's the little weekly storylines, but there's the overarching stuff that's like, I want to come back, I want to find out what happens. It's not just like Martha gets a TV show and it's over in 2 episodes, bye. Like, you're never going to hear about it again. That's the thing.
But we don't know for sure, because she's writing that book, and then if that goes away next week or the week after, then I don't know, you know, if that's something that's tossed out there and then it goes away. So I'm waiting, unfortunately managing my expectations. But
I mean, that's always good too. But I also feel like both of the new hires this year are I'm enjoying more than, I mean, I really liked Joy. I think she's been great. And then Carter, we got today, this week. Hello. I was a big fan of, I hope that he's not just in like one more episode. I hope he's staying around, because
IMDb says 2, so I don't know.
Oh no,
I don't believe IMDb though, because it said that like Joy was only going to be in 4 episodes or something. So.
But she might leave next week. That's the thing. I'm like, I loved Vincent last season, got attached, broke my heart. I don't want to do that this season if she's only going to be around for 4 episodes.
That's true. They did have one good new hire last season, and I'm like, I would say I'm maybe ambivalent on Donovan. I think Donovan's fine, but yeah. Oh my gosh, we'll talk more about Carter. But I was a big fan.
There are not many times you can use the word dazzling and have it be completely accurate, but that guy showed up, and it was just like,
he did.
Okay, yeah, you guys did a good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a very attractive actor. Let's put it that way. That's for sure. I was very impressed. I haven't been that impressed with a debut of like a new Hallmark hunk since I first saw Chris McNally in Rocky Mountain Christmas, and he he was so handsome. I'm like, ooh, the brother. Let's learn more about the brother. These other characters.
But they gave him, I appreciated this one where they gave him a personality. It wasn't just like, hey, cute guy, throw him in there. Because I wouldn't have cared, honestly. I saw him and I was like, hey, cute guy, sure. But they made him likable or interesting.
Yeah, no, they did.
Wanted to see more of him. Yeah.
For sure. Mm-hmm. They did. And so it starts out the episode with Joy getting Mary Wick training from Abigail and Cassie. And they have to drink a lot of tea. Because we know that, but and Cassie, we find out, of course, Cassie knew the whole time, and you know, they sort of explained to her. And did we know that the Mary Wick's favorite movie is the Maltese Falcon? Or is that new information?
I think so. I've never even heard of that movie. It's like, okay.
It's got Humphrey Bogart in it. And it's
okay.
it's a like crime noir detective story. Which I don't know why they picked that. Have you heard that?
Like,
we heard
did
that
they all
before?
secretly want to be detectives or something?
I don't know. Like I would have expected it to be something a little bit more romantic.
Oh.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Abigail's talked a lot about, not a lot, but I remember talking about old movies like Casablanca and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know that she's mentioned it. I don't know that they mentioned that particular movie. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's not like a terribly romantic show. Like it obviously has its moments, but it's not like, oh my God, pour it on thick or something. So I think it's, I don't know. I like it. I like that it's something a little different.
It was just, I mean, I don't know if I would expect them to do something like Roman Holiday, or I don't know what I was expecting them to say, but it was just funny. It's like at the exact same time they say at the exact same time they say Maltese Falcon. I'm like, wow. There we go. Who knew that was an essential Merriwick element? And so Martha has this clock that's part of the design of the house, and Joy tells Martha that she will find there's a piece missing from the clock, and she tells Martha that she will find the clock, and it says Merricks have a knack for making the impossible possible. So then we find out that Donovan is running for governor. And maybe they said that before and I just missed it.
Yeah, they've mentioned it throughout this season, I think, offhand, kind of, but not like talked about it like they did in this episode.
Yeah, so he's working on a speech, and he's having major writer's block. He's really struggling. And I thought this whole plot line was really cute, that he talks about playing their song. And Abigail's like, what? What song? What's our song? She doesn't know. So then she spends kind of the whole episode trying to figure out what their song is. I thought it was really cute.
Yeah. It was so cute. It was perfect for them. I mean, it was, like he was being sort of obnoxious in a good way. Like, I'm not just going to tell you. It was perfect for them. It was their dynamic. Just, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. And I thought, the whole play of... The ending was a little bit interesting, but I thought it still worked really well. And so then the Martha plot line this episode is Martha finds out that there's this publisher in town, and the publisher's kind of trying to convince her to write her memoirs, to write her book. And she says, "Wouldn't that be a hoot?" And that kind of reminded me of my grandma. My grandma would always say things like that. Wouldn't that be a hoot? And yeah, I mean, Amy, what do you think about this whole idea of Martha becoming a writer, writing her memoirs?
I mean, it might be an entertaining book. Like, I actually sat down and wrote her actual story. It'd be kind of funny and entertaining, especially if she just like writes like the mishaps of Middleton or whatever. Like, it'd be fun.
Oh yeah. But
like, she can take it seriously. Because it's Martha. Like, come on.
Yeah. I would love to read that book. I tell you that right now. Would you read that book, Georgia?
If she named it The Importance of Being Martha, like she said she was going to,
right.
Then yeah. But she said she's an excellent dictator, and I was
I died.
No. It's just so good. It does it so well. I don't honestly, I can't say I would read it because I'm not, I can't say I would because what is she? Why would I even find it? Someone like me, how would she get that? Like, who's going to read that outside of Middleton?
Like, unless it becomes a meme on the internet or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, with that photo shoot, I think it has great meme potential. I think it would absolutely sweep the whole world. She'd be like the next Malalia. Everyone would want to read her memoir.
I want to make like gifts for Twitter and stuff out of that photo shoot.
Oh my gosh, the photo shoot made me die laughing. It was the best. She's like, let's unleash the woman of power.
Like, please, Hallmark, put that scene on the YouTube channel as like an ad for Good Witch of just Martha's montage photo shoot. Please.
Yeah.
Please, I need that on YouTube. I need it.
It was so funny. I loved it. I loved the photo shoot.
So funny.
And yeah, the you know, she just of course she's gonna be focused on the photo shoot and getting the blurbs right, and that's when she says I'm a wonderful dictator, because is it Cassie who says
Stephanie?
What about dictation?
Stephanie,
Yeah, I think it's Cassie.
She was talking to Stephanie and
Stephanie
said, you love to talk, so why not dictate it?
I'm a wonderful dictator. That was the best. I loved that. But you also have a really sweet story in this. There were actually a lot of sub stories in this episode.
Yeah.
Because you have George, who is meeting with his old Air Force buddy, Harry, and Harry needs a kidney transplant, and so that ended up being a really sweet little story.
It's nice to get to know more about George's backstory, and like
yeah,
pre-kids, what we knew of him. So
yeah, how old do you think George is supposed to be?
Okay, let's so he has, the first movie came out 11 years ago now, 11 years ago.
Yes, because 10 years, last year was 10 years.
Yeah, okay, so then in the first movie, because they did the whole time jump thing, so I'm going to say the first movie, like, time-wise, was probably 20 years ago, because of when they did the time jump, and Grace was, like, 7 in the movie, and then she was 14. So I'm going to say that was, like, 20 years ago, was the first movie, technically, in, like, time-wise. So, I mean, he's got to be, like, 80. Like, I don't know.
So, but even if he's 80... So he wouldn't have been in like World War II. He'd have to be older. So if he's 80, I guess maybe like Korea, maybe.
I don't.
Yeah, I think it would be Korea.
For
yeah. So I think he's supposed to be in Korea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to figure that in my head.
He's trying to donate his own kidney. I mean, he had to be. That would be so risky for him if he actually did that.
Well, I mean, the war was like 1950, so I mean, that's 70 years ago now. Maybe that's even too old. Maybe it would have been Vietnam.
Stop. Oh my gosh, it is.
Yeah, I don't know when the Korean War was in the 1950s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it would have to be Vietnam. I was trying to figure that out, but yeah, I kind of wondered myself, I'm like, isn't there has to be an age where you're too old to donate your kidney?
Yeah, well, it says the Vietnam War was 43 years ago. So if he fought in the war 43 years ago, add like, say he was like 20, maybe he's like 65 and he just had kids really, really young. There we go. He was going away to war, and that's when he had his daughter. They were like teenagers. There we go. There's my backstory.
This is what happened, Amy. Good job. You figured it out.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if there is like an age where you're not allowed to donate anymore, but who knows? I mean, he's George, so he has he's extra strong, extra great, extra powerful. So maybe he can do it longer than others. But it was a sweet story. I liked it. And it turns out that he's not a match, and he's kind of disappointed. And then they find out that a friend can get a match somewhere else, and then his friend gives him his Purple Heart, which was just so sweet. I really enjoyed it.
George had saved him, but then Harry's the one that got injured, so he got the Purple Heart.
Yeah.
That was just because he deserves it. George deserves it.
Yeah. It was so cute. I loved it. Yeah. And so, I put in my notes, I said that Cassie, Abigail, and Joy go estate sale shopping. And then I have hot guy buys the clock. So there we go. That's my notes.
What is the character's name is Carter, right?
Carter.
Yes, his name is Carter.
I did try to look it up, but the way they do the the way they do the episodes for the way they do the cast lists for the Good Witch, for all the things on IMDb, it doesn't have it like episode, actors like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know who he is, but we should get him on the podcast.
I'm gonna find him. We just keep talking. I'll find him by the time we're
find
recording.
Find him.
Okay.
And we will interview him. We'll have him on the podcast.
His name is Jason Diaz. He's on Instagram. I mean,
is he?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Georgia's faster than us.
I like to do my research. Okay.
All right, Jason.
You know who he's talking.
Come on the podcast. We want to talk to you and find out your story because you were great.
It does say on his IMDb that he's going to be in 6.5 and 6.6 also from Good Witch.
Yes. Oh, good.
He's going to.
So hopefully he has a nice, good arc. We can see him and Joy back again.
We like the character. It's not just that he's cute. Okay, it's really not.
I think him and Joy bounce off each other very well.
Yeah.
That's why I liked him so much, because otherwise it would have been just like, oh, it's just like,
yeah. I mean, in fairness to me, I don't think they said his name at this point, so I had to write something down. It wasn't until later that they said his name was Carter.
Okay, yeah, not when you're writing hot guy at 5 o'clock or whatever, but I mean, at this point, we know.
Anyway, so they have this like banter and super fun between him and Joy. She wants the clock, he bought the clock, and all of this. And so then there's also another plot in the story with Sam at the hospital. He has a patient who has had knee surgery. He's a professional golfer or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he wouldn't get out and exercise his leg. But then he's also doing surgery for a woman who has carpal tunnel problems in her hands. Turns out they are they're exes. Yeah, I know, small world. And she has a what do you call it?
Emotional support dog.
A support dog, that's right. And cute dog, adorable. So cute. Yeah. And what was the dog's name? Did you remember? I should have written that down.
Was it Lucky?
Yeah, I think it was Lucky.
I want to say it was Lucky.
Yeah, but he was really cute. Anyway, and so they find each other, and they're able to kind of help each other, and he had a watch at one point, and that she'd gotten him and had an engraving on it, and so they lost the watch, and she thinks, well, that's symbolic of us losing our love, and so that kind of starts that story, and that was cute. I thought I liked it.
It was a cute, nice side story. I liked that we're seeing Sam do his job.
Yeah, and I like that they're kind of bringing Sam in to the whole matchmaker kind of thing, because that's pretty common to have these plots with Cassie kind of matchmaking somebody who stays at Grey House or somebody who is in the town. But this case is kind of both of them together. It's cute.
I'm really, really loving, first of all, that her magic is like active now instead of just intuitive, which is also great. But I love that she's sort of doing things that are like magical, but that it's not like, here's a watch, give it to the person, oh, this was theirs. She gives it to Sam, who then meets the people, who then talk about like there's so many steps to it that it's not this like easy to figure out thing. Like you can sort of figure that's where it's going, but if you're just watching it without analyzing it, it's sort of surprising and it's fun. And I like that they're making it, sort of multi-step stuff, because it makes it really interesting where you don't necessarily know what Cassie's doing, but there's always a reason for it.
Yeah. And I liked that watch.
Yeah. It was.
I did. I really did. I want that watch. It was really attractive. But yeah, so Cassie gives him the watch, and was it just for fun? Or was it an event? Or was it because they had the anniversary last week?
She mentioned that his old watch, the battery had died.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was the watch that he was wearing when they met. and so she replaced it, and then ended up fixing the original watch. There we go.
Yeah.
He was offended that she didn't like his pants when they met because they were ripped. Which I was like, were they? I don't remember that.
Well, no, I think he said that you didn't mind getting rid of the pants I was wearing because, and she said, because they were ripped. So like after they ripped later on, and she's like, well, we're getting rid of these. And
we're not sentimental about jeans, just watches.
Yeah. So yeah, he ends up giving the watch to the couple because the couple says, oh, well, I guess our love wasn't actually timeless after all. And he says, well, maybe it really was. And he gives them the watch, and it was pretty cute.
But they never said the wife's name, did they? I watched it like multiple times, looked up. I could not. The guy's name was Daryl, and then the wife's name, I don't know.
I did not write that down. I must admit.
You just said
I did not.
In the hospital. That was my.
Another thread in this episode is you have Stephanie, who meets up with her ex-husband. And this was kind of fun because her ex-husband, Wes, I think his name was played by her actual real life husband, Kylie's husband.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
Cute.
And I think that I felt like they had chemistry. I was like, I like this couple.
Yep.
It's cute.
Well, I would hope they have chemistry.
I know.
They're married.
It doesn't always mean anything, though.
No, because we've seen it enough on Hallmark. Real life couples they don't have very good chemistry. Sometimes it can be a little awkward, oddly enough. But yeah, I thought they had cute chemistry, and it's like, ooh, they need to do something with the two of these because Kylie has never been in a Hallmark movie.
Really?
We need to solve that.
It's ridiculous.
She needs to be in one. She's so cute.
Yeah.
And that would be really fun to have the two of them in a little Hallmark movie.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Yeah. I think they should do it. But anyway, so this kind of bothers Adam that she's spending this time with the ex-husband because he wants to sell this cabin that they had. And so she goes up there with him to the cabin to clear out all the stuff there. And I thought that was another cute little storyline.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who was like freaking out about it? All my notes about it are like, what is happening? Because they didn't have it. There was so much to it. Maybe it's because they are actually married and I was reading too much into it. But it felt like they're revisiting this not as like a one-time thing. It felt like they're sort of laying the groundwork for it to be something long-term. And then Adam saying he's not concerned about it originally, which I don't know why he went back on it and told Stephanie that he was jealous because he said he wasn't. And he was.
Well, remember, because he's sitting there talking to Sam, and Sam's like, if we're talking about it, that means that you are worried about it.
I know that, but he's like, his initial feeling is I'm not even worried about it. But then that hug and the music with Stephanie and Wes, and I'm like, there's something to this, right? Like, this isn't just tie up loose ends, we're done.
Yeah. It
felt very much, I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, what is this? What are they doing? Because I don't know.
I kind of felt that too. I have to admit that I thought, oh, is this going to be an arc? Is this going to be multiple episodes? And then at the end, then when she's like, oh, you had nothing to worry about. I was like, did he really have nothing to worry?
Because then that hug she gave him was more of like an, oh, you have nothing to worry about, but I don't know. Like, she didn't look certain of anything. She said she was, but that's not how she played it, which again,
I did feel like the hug, though, between the ex and her was more him hugging her than her hugging him.
But that music that they played when they hugged, and the fact that it's like, oh, I want her back. Oh, the jacket, not my wife. And you go, oh, well, okay. Why is he saying this? Why are we...
Yeah.
It's obviously not, stuff's over, see you later. It's like, maybe he'll be back. I hope he is, because I kind of really love this.
Yeah.
So dramatic.
I would be happy if he came back. I would. Because, I mean, it's no secret none of us are huge fans of Adam. So if there was a little bit of drama, or
Adam. He's just kind of there, like.
He's just sort of there. Yeah, I like that he's friends with Sam, but that's true. It's just like, oh, he's the boyfriend now. Like, I sort of slightly warmed up to him this episode, And then I was like, well, now I like the ex-husband though. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's going to be interesting to see. I hope he does come back. I kind of doubt it though. I feel like they kind of sent him away. But yeah, it was a little bit confusing. I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. Because I was just like, what? Like, literally my notes over and over. What is happening with Stephanie? I don't get that. I don't get it.
Yes, and so Sam decides that he's going to get emotional support dogs for the hospital, which could be really cute. And then we have this whole plot with Joy challenges Carter to a dart game at the bar or wherever, and she challenges. She's so sure she's gonna beat him in darts that she challenges him. She said, "I'll give you my truck if I lose, and you have to give the clock." And so they have this game of darts, and it comes down to the end. She throws the dart. It goes in the middle, but then it's not strong enough, and it drops to the ground. And so then he throws, and so then he wins, and she's all upset. And I really enjoyed all of this with the whole darts. It was so cute.
Well, because the dart was strong enough, she would have won if Cassie hadn't gone and done her little whatever that is to make it fall.
Oh, did she? I missed that.
Because they showed her, and she's like, "Oh, I hope she's not playing games. I think she is." And then Dart made it secured, and then Cassie had it, and it fell, and Abigail looked at Cassie. So I'm like, okay, she's doing stuff because they're trying to teach her whatever lesson she has to learn. I don't know.
Well, and so she gives him the keys. And she's obviously kind of bummed out, and she's like, "How are we going to get home? I just lost my truck." And then they go outside, and there's a note. And he's like, "You didn't really think I'd take your truck, did you?" And I was a little worried. I'm like, "Oh no, are we not going to see Carter again?" But luckily, we got a little in the next week. We got a little taste that we're going to see him again next week. So yay!
About you guys, but if I all of a sudden, which I wouldn't, was gonna bet my car on something like this, my friends all would have looked at me and gone, "No, Amy, that's a bad idea." Yeah. So I don't understand why Cassie and Abigail didn't look at her and go, "Maybe that's not a good idea."
Because they knew how it would play out.
Like, I guess they're just so sure. The Merriwick magic.
Yep.
Just doesn't seem like a good friendship move or whatever.
Because I thought that too, where I'm like, somebody should have stopped her, but also they kind of sort of did with whatever it was Cassie was doing. Mm-hmm. They're working in mysterious ways in this season. I'm not really sure what they're doing.
If I start betting my car at things, please tell me to stop.
Well, remember that, Amy.
Okay, thanks. I don't plan on it, but.
Well, it is kind of betting. I thought also their conversation at the end was a little weird. When Joy says, "I'm just supposed to change who I am," and they're like, "You're a Merriwick now." Like, that's how we roll. That just kind of
sounded cultish to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
that changed the way you think about things. She didn't say change who you are. Abigail would never say that.
Yeah,
that's what I had written down. Maybe I wrote it down wrong.
I'm not totally sure what she's supposed to be learning. I know she's part of a family now, but like you said, the family, like, is it a cult type thing? I mean, it is odd. I don't know what she's supposed to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But she definitely has to change who she is. I mean, and they're gonna make her lose her truck and all kinds of stuff. Like, it's pretty funny.
I mean, at this point, there must be like a million Merriwicks wandering around in the world at this point, because they just keep appearing.
I know.
Cassie's relatives and stuff. Like, do all of them have to conform to Cassie's way of life or something? I am so confused.
I mean, and how come, I mean, I guess Vincent was related to Cassie.
But by adoption.
By adoption. So there's no male Merriwicks?
I was thinking that too.
I guess not.
I guess
they also cannot. They only can be brunette. No
right.
can have any other hair color. Yeah. Like redheads, forget it. Blonde, no way.
Yeah. But it was cute though. I love the three of them. I think it's great. And then you have Martha reading her memoir. And like, what is this? And it turns out it's like she's made herself into a spy. And I'm like, I'd read that novel for sure. I mean, she should definitely write that.
Like if she's writing a story and not a memoir.
Yeah, it would be great. I would definitely read it. That was really funny to me, I thought. And Cassie are just like, what is happening here? I love that. And so then we also have in the bar, there's this old jukebox. And they say it's as old as the Beatles.
The last time it worked, the Beatles were still together.
Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense because then they're dancing to Just the Way You Are by Billy Joel, which
was after.
It's like the 80s.
It's a saying, okay? The Beatles were still together. It's just a saying, apparently.
This thing is really old and doesn't work.
You get it.
Just the Way You Are was let me find it when it was.
I honestly thought it was going to be the Bruno Mars one. I was so confused for a good while. I thought it was going to be the Bruno Mars song, and I was like, weird for them.
Okay, 1977. Also, so it's a little earlier than I was thinking, I have to say.
But the thing with the Bruno Mars one is I was like, how would that have ended up in a jukebox that's like obviously like from the 80s or something? Like,
so I was like, that's such a weird choice. Where are they going? What kind of I was confused for a good portion of it because I really thought that's which one it was. And then I mean, I guess good thing it wasn't because this makes a little more sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
A little.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to find out that. So yeah, they broke up in 1969 and Just the Way You Are was written in 1977. And I get it, overthinking it, but it just made me laugh. I'm like, this song, why didn't they pick an older song? This song is not that old. But nevertheless, it was a cute moment between Donovan and Abigail.
No, dancing. It was adorable.
Yeah, it was really cute.
All right, put a ring on it. Let's get this. Like, come on, Donovan.
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess they didn't have too much about the curse in this episode. It was more just their normal relationship, I thought, which I'm glad because I think they were overdoing that for a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a way to balance it.
Mm-hmm. And he had the writer's block, and he was able to break it by thinking of his family.
Blue suede shoes, which is odd.
What's that?
Blue suede shoes, which his dad had to sing all the way to the beach or whatever. I was like, that would be so annoying.
I know.
Man.
Like, your dad's never done something annoying like that before.
My dad doesn't sing, so definitely not that. I don't know what that all the way on a road trip would be. Man, I'd hate that song if that were the case.
I mean, my dad, he loves doing cheesy things like that, so I could picture him doing that, but just to drive us crazy.
My dad's whole road trip would just be like the history of the Ohio State football team. Entire ride. Like, that's what my dad does.
My dad doesn't talk in the car. He just doesn't.
You're very lucky.
No, because he also doesn't want music either, so it's just like silence the whole way.
Oh, really? See, my dad, he definitely has to talk because he gets really sleepy if things are too like sedentary. So like driving long distances, you have to like keep talking so he doesn't get tired.
Oh yeah, for sure. We keep talking, but we don't necessarily talk to him. You know, there are always more people in the car.
Yeah,
that want to be part of the conversation.
But it was really cute. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I really enjoyed every part of this episode. I thought I liked every plot line. I thought was fun. And I'm a big fan of Joy and Carter. Big fan. I felt like they had chemistry together too. It wasn't just that they were both attractive.
They were a duo if he's a carpenter and she's a interior decorator.
Yeah.
And they both love trucks, which is, always the key to a good relationship.
There we go.
Love of trucks.
Some of my favorite bumper stickers I've ever seen was on a truck. I don't know why I thought of this just now, but or it said, "Yes, this is my truck, and no, I will not help you move."
Oh yeah.
That's a
That
thing.
was really funny.
Told that in college. They're like, do not buy a truck until you're like 32. Everyone's gonna want you to help them move.
That's right.
Like, I have friends who move like every year, and I'm like glad I have a tiny car.
Well, very good. I think we covered everything.
We did not cover Adam's hand shaking thingy. What is that?
Yeah. Okay. Whoever
What is
made that
that?
comment like weeks ago,
Right?
that was like, his hand was shaking, and I was like, oh, maybe the actor was just tired or something, and his hand was shaking.
Because I realized, I watched it back, and it's like, oh, I'm taking the coffee away because you've had too much caffeine. And I was like, oh, we had too much caffeine. I just let it slide in that first one. And this time, yeah, whoever made that comment, A+, because, man, that's a thing. I don't know what's going on with him, but that's a thing.
I didn't even notice this. I didn't even write it in my notes.
Well, because he was trying to eat the pie, and the fork kept.
He says, my hand fell asleep, so he's losing feeling in his hand. I'm like, he could have like a nerve thing, or he could have something serious. I don't know.
Whoa.
My brain went automatically to Parkinson's, and I'm like, but that's awful. Like, that's just like.
Because I'm like, that happens, like, okay, your neck is messed up. Like, that happens with mine where I'm like, can't feel my hand, whatever. But then you also can have, a condition where that's the first symptom or something. So I don't know what they're going to do with them. And the show does complex medical stuff really well. So if they do something, they're going to do it well.
He can have a stroke or something?
Wow. I don't know what they're thinking or what they're planning, because it's obviously something. But yeah, did you see when he was sitting there? He was trying to eat the pie, and that's why Stephanie grabbed his hand.
I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was what was the other point? He did it at one other time too.
I think so, yeah.
And it was like he dropped something or couldn't feel his hand, and they're making it more noticeable, but I don't know what they're gonna do with it. It's making me nervous.
Interesting. That's crazy. I mean, they're like, the Hallmarkies Podcast girls didn't like how
I know.
They're getting rid of
I know. If he dies or something this season, I'm gonna feel so awful.
Sorry, Scott. You did a good job.
Like, it's so nothing against him at all. He plays Adam well with what they give him, but they just didn't give him a whole lot.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
That's all. And now I'm so worried. I'm so sorry if that's our fault. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. We did get a taste of next week that Nick is back for next week. So we know at least more than one episode. So there we go.
We're doing well without Nick, personally. Like, nothing against Nick, but we're doing well, right?
He's been 5 seasons, and then they're just like, we're done with anyone who's under the age of 25. Like, just stick it down, unless their name is Parsley.
Parsley.
I'm never going to let that go.
I thought about that last night for some reason. We're watching the episode, and I was like, Amy thought her name was Parsley. It wasn't even in it. I was just thinking of it.
Well, I don't know. If any town was going to have someone named Parsley, it would probably be Middleton. Oh, that's funny.
Normal names.
Pretty much all of them do have pretty normal names. And I think about it, and I'm like, oh.
Why you guys thought Parsley?
All right. Well, very good. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it as much as we did? What was your favorite of all these plot lines? I think I gotta go with Joy and Carter is my favorite, but I enjoyed all of them. They were all fun. So
Stephanie.
Yeah. Stephanie was your favorite.
This week for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like so invested.
Same with you, Amy?
Yeah, I think that was a really good, cool element.
Yeah. And so there we go. Let us know your favorite in the comment section or on Twitter. We would love to talk about it. And make sure that you are subscribed to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe. We're also, if you can leave your ratings and reviews, if you're listening on iTunes, we would sure appreciate that as well. And we have our Patreon group, which means so much to us. We appreciate it so much. We'll have information about that. And then we also have our merch store, which has tons of good witch-inspired merch. So check that out. And so thanks so much, everybody. And Georgia, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Georgia Speech.
And Amy?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at It's Amy Craig.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. And make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over the place. And I will look forward to next week. So thanks, everybody. Bye.